party time, yeah, it's party time. Grab a palette and a brush and just flow with your mind. We gon' bring this look together one swatch at a time, one swatch at a time, yeah, it's party time.
Hey y'all, I'm Shima and this is Pretty Party Makeup. In this video, I wanted to do an anti-haul, but not just any anti-haul. I want to do my makeup while I talk to you all about the new releases that came out this year so far. So I got 2 new things in the mail today. I want to use these products. This is the ColourPop New Mood Palette and the ColourPop highlighter palette. It's called The Real Thing. It's the Super Shock highlighter. So these recently came out. I want to get these because this is a pretty warm tone palette. I know they came out with the coconut palette, but it was more of a cool tone. I really don't like cool tones like that. So I decided to go ahead and get this, and I really want to get this because it's so pretty. The pan size is huge. It comes with a mirror. I didn't take off the thing yet, but yeah, I thought this was really pretty. So I did decide to get these 2 things, and these 2 did come out this month. So I'm really excited to use these on camera with you all today. I know ColourPop comes out with releases every 2 minutes, so I don't want to do a dedicated video to that because the only people that can really do those reviews on time is the people who get PR. So I'm just going to use that on camera with you all today in this anti-haul, and I'll give you my thoughts on it at the end of the video. So I already have my eyebrows on. I just need to go ahead and put on some primer. This is the No Pore Primer. This is the priming water. And I just want to put this all over my face before we get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is put on some foundation. Of course, this is my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. It's my favorite foundation. And we're going to talk about the first item on my anti-haul list, which is the Morphe Fantasy Artistry Palette. It's a very pastel rainbow palette, and I'm just not into that right now. I think I have enough pastels in my collection. I have the Jawbreaker palette that has some pastels in it. And also this palette has some pressed glitter in it, which I don't use much pressed glitters. So I'm just not into it. It's very boring. I'm feeling like Morphe is getting really boring with their releases. I feel like it's the same thing over and over again. It's just boring and I'm just not into it. I'm sorry y'all, I just had to put my hair back. I don't know how people do it. They be looking all cute, putting on their makeup, be having all their hair in their face. I just can't do it. I do have a wig on, so don't judge me y'all. I got my natural hair twisted up under here, and I didn't want to come up on here looking like Snoop Dogg. I'd rather come up on here looking like I'm supposed to be on the Tyler Perry movie than come up here looking like Snoop Dogg. So just bear with me. Just bear with me.
I said what I said. Okay. What you said was some bull. But you don't like it. You don't like it. I sure damn don't like it. Well, then what you want me to do?
So now I want to use the Milani. This is the Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. This is new to me. If y'all have been watching my channel, I've been using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I did not like the concealer, but that was the only concealer I had at the time. So I finally went out and got a new concealer. So I'm hoping this works better. And also this is in the shade 145 Warm Beige. The next item I won't be buying will be the Makeup Geek palettes. They did a rebrand and I'm really just not here for it yet. The bigger palette is $125, which is crazy expensive for some neutral shades and for some rainbow shades that we already have in our collection. If you have as much makeup as me, I've never had a Makeup Geek palette, and I did want to get the quad, which is $14, and I think I might end up getting the quad one day. I know you can make your own palette if you want to, but it's just not for me. Okay, I blended out that concealer really quick. I do actually like that concealer. Again, for the 2 big Makeup Geek palettes is $125. To get both of them, they're $219. The 9 eyeshadow palette is $32.99, and the 4 eyeshadow mini palette is $14.99. I do hear great things about her formula. It's just right now, I don't think I'm into what I'm seeing at the moment, but I will get back to it when she comes out with something a little bit more interesting. Now I'm gonna go into some powder. This is the Airspun, and I'm just gonna set my concealer. The next thing that's on my list is the Hermes lipstick. The tube is pretty. I do like the packaging. The lipstick is $67. So it's basically a normal, everyday type of lipstick. The kind of tube that's not a liquid lipstick, the kind that just like rub off if you eat something. It's that kind of lipstick, and it's $67. Of course, you know, it's really directed towards rich people. You know, rich people like to flaunt, they like to get expensive makeup, and that's for them, that's their audience. Hermes bag is like, what, $50,000 or something like that. So the intended audience isn't really me, but I just decided to just put it in there anyway because I personally don't like cream lipsticks, but it does have a $42 refill, so you can get it refilled for $42. So I think that's cool, I think that's smart, but it's a pass for me, of course. Now I want to bronze up the face and contour the nose. I'm using my Lovecraft Beauty palette, and I use these two shades. I mix these two shades together. But the next thing that's on my list is the Sabrina Netflix palette. It's a SpellBook palette. I really like the cover of that palette. Of course, some of you all may know I have the Manny MUA SpellBook palette, and that's a really good palette. Like, it's so cute on the outside. So instantly when I saw the cover of the palette, it caught my eye, so I could not wait to see the colors inside of it. So obviously I seen the colors and it made it to my anti-haul list. Yo, the colors in there is just so boring. I know it's supposed to be based off the Sabrina TV show, but those just look boring, and I was really excited about it. I don't like when people cheapen up a palette by putting those face pans in there, like the blush and a bronzing shade. I don't like when people do that. I just like for an eyeshadow palette to be an eyeshadow palette without all those face products in the palette. So I didn't like that. It made it look a little bit cheap in my opinion. But you all, it is a NYX palette, so it's an affordable palette. I never tried a NYX eyeshadow formula before, but the palette is $35, which isn't bad. The Manny MUA palette was like $48, so if you still want a SpellBook palette but you don't want to spend $48, I think that might be a good palette. Now I'm gonna put on some blush. This is the Cover Fix palette. I'm using the light medium palette, and I just really like the blush in here. So speaking of blush, I saw the most prettiest blush on Trendmood. It has a flower in the middle. It's like 4 different shades. It's so pretty. It's handcrafted. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I was really excited about it. I scrolled down and I saw the price.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
$180. $180. What if you end up really loving that blush and you hit pan on it? You're gonna spend another $180 on it. And this is a brand that I have not heard of. The brand is called Wasu, something like that. I'll show you all up here. But it's just, man, why is makeup getting higher and higher every year? Every year makeup gets more expensive. But $180 for a blush? No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. Okay, now I'm finally using the ColourPop palette. I already primed my eyes with the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre. So speaking of ColourPop, this was a part of a whole collection. And it was this palette, which is the Nude Mood palette. And it was another palette called Blush Crush, which is a more pinky tone palette. And yeah, it's cute. I think it's really cute. But I already have pinky tones in my collection already, and I didn't find the need for that. And the highlighter is pretty, but it's just not my shade, so I didn't have a use for that. My opinion, I like this palette a little bit more. Yes, the pinky tone palette is pretty, but I had to skip it. And since we're on the topic of ColourPop, I saw the Kylie Stormy collection, and I think that's a pretty collection. But it's a purple and pink palette. Again, I'm really not into that. I like to try different fun colors. I have a lot of pinks and purples in my collection. Also, if I wanted a pink and purple palette that looks exactly like that, I would get the Lilac palette from ColourPop or one of their purple palettes from ColourPop, because that's basically what that palette is. I don't know how much the palette cost, but it's just for me. I really don't want it. But if you don't have any purple shades in your collection or any pink shades in your collection, I think it's a pretty palette, but I just wouldn't buy it. So I did something different today. I decided to go ahead and set my eyeshadow primer, and I used this shade. It's called Bluffin'. So that's a pretty pigmented white shade. But speaking of Kylie Jenner's new palette, I have to talk about Kim's new palettes. She came out with 3 palettes, and they're boring. They're very boring. I guess if you don't have any of her palettes, I guess you will buy them, but again, these colors might already be in your collection. The price isn't a big deal. It's $25 a piece, which is not bad at all. If you love her formula, I don't see why you wouldn't get it, other than it's boring. That's basically it. I haven't seen an interesting palette from Kim yet. I would rather buy that ColourPop Kylie palette before I buy that Kim palette, to be honest, because at least it's fun and creative looking. Basically, Kim keeps putting out the same shades over and over again, the same nude shades. It's like, okay, Kim, we get it. You love nude shades. Can we do some color, Kim? Can you put out a little bit of color? You know, something fun, something different. Because this is supposed to be celestial skies, and I'm not seeing celestial skies. I'm not. So in the crease, I use the Cocoa and Moody, so that blended out pretty nicely. That's really pretty. I'm putting this shade called Wink Wink. I'm putting this all over the lid. It's very pretty. And I'm going to put this brown shade right here called Lappa Lux, and I'm going to put this on the outer corner of the eyes, and it just gives me a very soft glam type of feel. This brown shade is really pigmented too, so I'm going to blend these two together with my finger. It's so pretty. Speaking of soft glam, this is another palette I'm passing up, and it's the Amrezy palette. This palette is $49, which isn't a bad price because you get extra shades. But the reason that I'm not getting it is because I already have all these colors in other ABH palettes. Literally, that blue shade is in the Riviera palette. The hot pink shimmer is literally in the Alyssa Edwards palette. And all those neutral shades you can find in the Soft Glam ABH palette or the Jackie Anna palette, which I have. So I didn't find a need for that palette at all. Yes, the packaging is pretty. I saw it in person at Ulta. It was very glittery though. I really don't like when my packaging has all that loose glitter on there. I didn't like that. But the only shade that I thought was pretty was the shade called Barb. Now that shade is very pretty, but I didn't want to spend $49 on that palette and just to get that one shade. It just didn't make sense. Now if they was to sell that shade as a single, I would get it as a single, but just to get that whole palette for that one shade that's different in the palette, I couldn't do that. So for my lower lash line, I used the shade Moody. So now I'm gonna go back into Wink Wink. I'm gonna put this in the inner corner of my eyes. And we're gonna try that highlighter. That's a very pretty inner corner shade. So I did my lashes, my mascara, my liner, and my lipstick off camera. For my liner, I used the Maybelline Precise All Day Liner. For my mascara, I used the Laura Mercier Caviar Volume Mascara. And for the lipsticks, I used Live Glam Honeymoon and Live Glam Honey Bun. I really like these lipsticks. They smell so good. They're so creamy. I used my Lash Monthly lashes in the style Riri. I will not be leaving a link to these lashes because this company basically fell off the ends of the earth. This was a lash subscription. You got 3 pairs of lashes for $15 a month, which was a very good deal. I have tons of lashes from them. I only have lashes from them, but I will not be leaving a link for them anymore. The last set of lashes I've got from them was in September of last year. So I'm not going to talk about these lashes on my channel anymore. Yes, I'm going to still wear them because these are the only brand of lashes that I have, because I feel like a lash subscription is very convenient. But yeah, I won't be leaving a link to these lashes anymore. So the eyes are done. So I really like the palette. I'm gonna go ahead and try the highlighter now. I took the plastic off so I can use the mirror. And I'm gonna use my finger for this. I'm just going to tap it on. I feel like it's very subtle. It's a very subtle highlighter. I used my finger, so I thought it was gonna be a little bit more brighter if I use my finger. So I'm gonna try a brush to see how that works. For the brush, I'm using the Morphe M501 brush. I'm just gonna use that instead. Okay, that's a little bit better. Put some on the nose. It is pretty, you all. It's really pretty so far. It's good for the price. The price, it was $11, I believe, or $12. It was a really good price, so I really like this. Well, that's it for the anti-haul. Everything I mentioned was either way too expensive, lackluster, boring, and just plain old repeats. The only things that I was really interested in this month so far is these ColourPop products and the Tati Beauty sponge. Now I did order that. I will be doing a review on that soon. It's coming in the mail Friday. It is a lot of reviews on that already, but the thing about my channel is I don't get PR. I pay for everything myself, so I can give you all a 100% honest review on these products. That's the difference between my channel and someone else's channel that gets PR and are friends with these people behind the products. I don't know any of these people behind the products that I review. So that's why it's best to watch smaller YouTubers such as myself if you really do want 100% honest reviews. So that is it for this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell so you'll be notified next time that I put up a brand new video. The more likes my videos get, the easier YouTube will put my videos out there to recommend to other people. So I do encourage you all, if you like this channel, if you like my content, please like my videos when you watch them. Again, I hope you enjoy them, and I really appreciate you all for watching. Bye.
Swatch at a time, one swatch at a time, yeah, it's party time.